Hi, this is Chantal from the Purring Cat Studio and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you how I make a soft, squishy journal. I will use an Amazon envelope, so any bubble package will do, but this one is really, the sound of them I really love. I had already made some journal toppers that I've set aside quite a few weeks ago, if not months, and I decided to, finally do the journal that I had decided to do when I made the journal toppers. But since then, I got distracted. So what I want to do is I also want to make it, I want to cover it with fabric. Now the thing is I could go right away in my sewing machine and sew all of this together, because it will be something like that, so that the outside is all nice and, soft. Yes, it is see-through a tiny bit for those of you who can maybe see the code, but as I said, I do have journal toppers that were already made, and so my intentions is to put it on top, so therefore we won't see a whole lot of whatever is showing through. Now the thing is before I go sewing, I have to figure out exactly how I'm going to build this journal. And I think this is where some of you who are new to this might learn a few things. I'm hoping anyways, because if you don't think of all the steps, then you'll sew things before you're ready to sew them. So this journal that I am making with you today will be more of a writing journal. Those of you who know what I do, I usually make journals with a lot of pockets, a lot of flip outs, and surprises everywhere, and it's decorated and everything. Today my intention is to make more of a writing journal, a little bit like this one that I purchased from Taperlogy. And this journal for me is a journal in which I just create and let myself be free, and all the pages were blank. See, so I was able to do whatever I wanted in this journal. I decorated the front as I saw fit. Of course I wrote my name, but it came fairly empty. So I want to do somewhat the same. So I want to put a sewn in signature inside. So clearly I have to choose my papers and sew them inside before I do anything else to the cover. However, there's one step I have to do before I sew in the signature, and it's to hide the inside. So we're not even going to put this on right away. First, we have to cover this. So I have some of this paper that I absolutely adore, and I think it would be a good idea to glue this inside. It will fit the softness of the journal. The images are stunning. I just love it so much. So first I want to decide how much of it I need, and I'm trying here to see if I can spare. I'm trying to save paper here because I love this paper and I might not need all of it. So this flower would show beautifully on this side, and here you'd have a part of the butterfly. I think this would be nice. I really like that, because I could also use this, and technically I would, because I love to see this, but you have to remember there's going to be a signature right in the middle, so then technically I'm kind of wasting it because not a whole lot will be seen, so I'm not going to do that. Also, I will cut this a tiny bit smaller than my Amazon envelope, because as you saw in the beginning when I had the fabric underneath, there will be a flap of the fabric over about this much. So this much of the paper will be hidden. So I don't want it to be too flush where then, you're going to see some of the paper underneath. But I think leaving about this much for the measurement of my piece of fabric will be just perfect. So I will go ahead and trim this paper. So on top and bottom they seem to be pretty good. I'm just going to cut it. I want to see a tiny bit of the butterfly, but that also will have a flap. We might see about this much. So yeah, I will cut it here. and then I will adjust accordingly with the rest when I put it on the envelope. So I will put this away. So I really don't want all these stickers to show through. I tried to peel some of it off, but there's also the black lines, the writing and such. So yeah, I don't want to do that. And see, now I'm tearing even the envelope. So I will just tear a tiny bit here, just because I had already started. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some white gesso to hide whatever I don't want to show to the paper. So that way it will be more of a white, you know, underneath the envelope. I could have also just covered with, I don't know, any old piece of coffee stain paper. Masking tape would have done a good job, but I'm not sure the paper would have stuck to the masking tape. If you don't have white gesso, just white acrylic, that's fine too. It's just to hide all the writing from the envelope, because that paper I'm getting ready to apply is very translucent. That's why I love it so much. And yeah, it would show all these black lines and such. Of course, I have to put it all over my fingers. Okay. Now, I know many of you, and just like me, are already in the Christmas mode spirit, the holiday spirit. I am too, and I am making videos here and there about painting. The videos I really love to do throughout the Christmas season, for me anyways, is to make Christmas cards. Last year I made a lot of videos, Christmas ornaments and surprises just like that. They were more like mini journals as well. There's all kinds, so I do invite you to go check them out if you want. But I really love to do videos about Christmas cards. Easy peasy, you know, painting Christmas cards. Okay, so I'm not too worried about the white showing on each side, because again, there will be fabric covering most of it. And now on top I will put clear gesso, because I clearly don't want to hide that beautiful paper. So let me grab another brush and my clear gesso. Oops. Okay. Perfect. So that will help it stick better, if you will, but it will also contribute to the paper being like a little stronger, because this is I don't know if you call it rice paper. It's just like those papers you stuff bags with when you give a present, let's say. So now the white gesso is not completely dried. I should have been a little more careful, because when my brush touches the edges here, it could pick up on some and then put it all over my paper. So I think I'm going to do this instead and spread this like that. It was loud. I didn't realize how the heating system in the basement was very loud. I was trying to compete with it speaking, so I hope, I don't know, I'm only going to know once I do the editing, but I hope it didn't, you won't hear it too much in the video. If so, I apologize in advance. It's off now, but it was pretty cold for it to kick in and start, so it was needed. It was getting cold in the house. Okay, I put a tiny bit too much. I'm trying to spread it out now. I need a tissue or just paper towel just to get the excess out. Now I have a dryer, otherwise this video would last a few hours. I could always pause with the magic of editing. I'm just saying. I'm here in my studio and I felt like recording. Okay. There we go. Perfect. That's beautiful. It will dry clear. So now the inside, at least this part, is taken care of. Okay, so I made sure that my gesso was dried, and now I'm just folding some pages that I want to put inside. So as I told you, I want this to be a writing journal. It doesn't mean that all the pages have to be blank. I still want it to have some interest, and whoever decides to purchase it can always, if some of the pages are too colorful, they can easily put some gesso and make it a little wider, if you will. You can dilute the gesso with water, if you will, and it will make a translucent white film over whatever it is you're trying to hide. So if, for example, they thought this page was too colorful and they really wanted to write, well, they could write right now, but they could still gesso part of it so that it's a little lighter. It's really the choice of whoever decides to purchase the journal. I'm folding pages now. I'm not sure I want all the images to be on the outside or inside. And I just realized these are my papers. I had forgotten all about them. These are trimmed. They're a little bigger than that usually, but I just trimmed them to fit this journal. And I know they're part of a series that I made, like a pack, if you will. I think it's called something Woodland. I'm not 100% certain. I can't remember. I would have to look up and I will try and link it. But I don't have that many papers in my Etsy shop simply because I don't have a whole lot of time between the YouTube videos, the journals, painting, and working a full-time job and taking care of the whole house, etc. I don't have a whole lot of series. The ones I do have are quite popular. I'm very fortunate. People like them. And I think this is something Woodland. I would just look in my shop. You will find them. They're actually really pretty, and I haven't been able to work with them yet because busy. So anyways, I'm gathering papers. I think I will have them with the image on the outside. And then you write on the inside. Why not? So I've gathered my papers, some ledger paper that I had, like this. I have these beautiful papers with daisies that are like watercolor daisies. I really love those. And of course, coffee stained papers, and just, I don't know what this is. It's just beigey. It's thicker than photocopy paper, but I think it's meant to be like parchment or something like that. Okay, so I trimmed all my pages, and when you fold them, if you only do one signature, there are chances that once they're folded, the pages in the middle go a little over. So I just retrimmed them so that everything is nice and even. For those of you who know me, I usually don't mind if it's not even, but for this one, I wanted it to be all nice and trimmed. Now, okay, so I thought about it, and I'm going to sew my fabric because I was maybe a little too lazy. I didn't want to put the thread back in my machine. So okay, so I will cut the corners here just to avoid too much bulk when I fold it this way and then this way. See, I actually could cut a little closer, so I will do so like this, and I will do the same on all corners. Now the angle here is not easy, so I might have to turn my journal upside down to access the other corners so I don't have my arms all over the camera. Like this. Hopefully I don't cut too much. And I'll turn it around again just to make it easier for me. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Oops, I have gesso somewhere that is not dry because it's all over my fingers now, and a tiny bit here. Okay, So, I sometimes attach with double-sided tape just a tiny bit to help me out with the sewing process so that it doesn't move. I have a very small sewing machine. It's nothing fancy. So wherever I feel I might need help, I just do that. It's not, it's not very big, and I don't know if it's easier, with bigger machines. I don't know. But I find that it's easier for me to have something hold the fabric. See, I could actually trim this down a tiny bit. I'm very tempted. I think I will. Just because it's hiding more than I thought it would of the flower, and I'm realizing I have the space to do it without... Oh yeah, see, that's much better. Okay, I will do that. And I think, yeah, on the other side as well, of course. So that's my process when I cover a journal with fabric. I've glued it. I've glued my fabric on the journals numerous times. Almost, actually, I think every time. Maybe I've sewn the fabric once, and this will be twice, to tell you the truth. I don't think I did more than that. So today I just decided to do so because remember I said when we sewed the signature in, if you have a very strong machine, of course you could do it right away with your sewing machine right in the middle and be done. I will do the pamphlet stitch, and I found that beautiful string that I got from, again, Taperology. I'll show you. It's absolutely scrumptious. I just hope that the little balls here, those little knots, will go through the holes, because it's so delicate and perfect. I think it would look fabulous with this. So let's cross our fingers that I can do that. Okay, so yes, that's nice. And I will tuck this in like that. Oh yes, and I will put metallic corners. So don't worry about, I mean, you can worry if it's your own journal, clearly, but for me, I love to do, put metallic corners. But even if you don't have them, because we cut the corners, it avoids a lot of the bulk. And as you can see, it would be, oops, maybe you're a little too far and it's white here. It would be a pretty clean corner, so you don't really have to worry if you're not sewing your journal. So whoops, let me back up a tiny bit. There we go. So yes, I usually, oops, you know what? I can probably do some trimming. Do I have to though on top and bottom? I don't, well, why not? We did it on the other side. Yeah, so don't worry if you're not sewing your fabric in. And if you're just gluing like I've always done, by cutting the corners, you really get rid of a lot of the bulk, and it makes a really nice clean finish, if you will, on your corners. I don't have fabric scissors. That's one thing I've never thought of purchasing. Usually I just rip the fabric. Maybe that's why I've never really bothered with it. No, this is not really straight now, is it? Just a tad more there. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect, but still want to do a good job. There we go. There, that's all good. So I help myself with double-sided tape before I sew, but you don't have to. Some people say they don't like it because it makes the needle filled with, gulk and glue, but so far for me it's worked fine, so I keep doing it. Just making sure the corners are nicely tucked in, even though I will, put metallic corners on that journal. There we go. It will be so beautiful with the metallic corners. Oh, it's going to be lovely. Okay, so now I have to go and sew around this, and then we'll put the um the pamphlet stitch with our signature and the top, and then it will be pretty much done. So I will go get my sewing machine. Okay, I'm not the best sewer. The angle is not great, so that might be fast forwarded for the noise, the time, and you know, just because. Wish me luck. Okay, so I did the sewing. I didn't do great at the beginning where I went a little too close to the edge. But you know what? This is handmade. I think most people know that. And, you know, it's okay. I never pretended anything could be perfect. Now I'm deliberating on putting small corners or big corners. I have both. Um, the small ones are these ones, which are really cute. But I don't feel like, I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, this is small, but I like them for smaller journals. And then I have the big ones, but it's not very thick. I will have to pinch them in pretty good. But I think this is really pretty. I think I will go with these ones. Okay, so how I go about it is I put glue inside just to help it out, although that's not how they hold clearly. They hold with pliers. So some of you have seen me put these on before. For those of you who are new, this is how I do it. So I put the corners like so, and then I gently, a little bit at a time, press on the corner. So I press here, tiny bit, and then I press on here, then I go back here, then I go back here. It's really a process, and I will explain to you why. If you go too quickly, the corner will not be a corner anymore. It will open up, and then it's difficult to readjust. So you have to be patient, and you press a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, just like so. We're not in a hurry. As long as when you're done, the corner holds really well. I think this is good. And see, that is the corner. And that's how I proceed. Especially since these ones are really, really big. There's a lot of space for a very thick journal. Usually I would use the small one, but I don't know. For this journal, I felt the bigger metal would show, I don't know, it would showcase the book a little more. So I will go ahead and put the 4 other corners, and I'll be right back. Okay, so all 4 corners are on the journal. I think it's lovely. And now it is time to sew our signature in. So I just want to make sure I can see where the middle is, right here. And yeah, that's pretty good, right? That. And I don't stress myself about it. I just make sure that the pages don't move. So I will put clips on each side, and I will simply do the holes. So I don't bother with putting anything, because as you can see, this table is protected with this piece of wood here that I always use. Just want to make sure I have equal distance between the top and bottom, and that it's not yeah, okay, this is good. And I will make the first hole all through the other side. When I feel I go in the table, usually it means I'm through. But I will go, just make sure. Okay, I will make another right here. You can measure. I just eyeball it. I'm usually pretty good at eyeballing things. And right here. There we go. Easy peasy. And now let's hope that I can pass this beautiful, I think it's called miso string. I'm not sure. I love it. First I have to make sure it goes through here. This is a knitting needle. Oh, there you go. Perfect. I'm not gonna put too much in like that. And I think this should be enough. There. And I usually go through the middle first, but that's just me. It depends. You know what? Maybe for this one I'll go the other way, because I usually go in the middle, then I go here, then I go back in middle, and then I go here, and then I attach inside. But this is such beautiful string. I think I wanted to show on the outside. So I will go like this. I will go the other way of what I usually do. And I'm gonna leave myself some, so I will go like this. Okay, and then I go back in the middle. Now this might be a little problem because of the little knots in the string. No, it's all good. Okay, and then I go back out. It is so easy, and there you go. We are done. And it's as simple as that. Actually, I usually would put it through here, but I forgot, so I'll just do it with my hands, and there we go. And it's so pretty. I just want to I don't know, I just wanted to show it. It's very pretty. There. It's so delicate and sweet. Oh my goodness. Look at it. Oops. There. So pretty. I need to buy more. There. So delicate. Perfect. Easy peasy. There, and we are done. It's very, very soft and pretty, and it's pretty inside. Oh, I love it. It's so soft. Okay, so that is the journal, and now of course I said I won't decorate, but I might add, I was thinking of maybe adding a pocket at the beginning and maybe another one at the end. You know, just because, oh, I think this is too loose. I'm going to tighten it a tiny bit. That's not a problem, since I only made a bow and a simple knot. And that's the beauty of it. You don't have to, you know, make it super tight. There, that's all. And it allows you, if you really needed to take the journal out for some reason, the pages, then you can. And I'm just going to make sure that everything is nice and tight, but not too tight, just enough, because you want to be able to move the pages without ripping the hole in the pages. There, better. Okay. So yes, I'm thinking of maybe adding a pocket. Maybe one would be a side pocket here, and maybe one in the bottom, so you could put notes or little additions, or maybe I'll put a nice little envelope. Ooh, yes, a nice oh, I don't know if I have them anymore. Oh goodness, I do, but it's a little too big. I was gonna say I could slide an envelope full of goodies. These are envelopes that I made with the double window, but it's a little too big. I could make a smaller one if I can find one, or I could clip it in, or there's all kinds of ways I can add a little surprise in that journal. So there it is. So that's how you cover a journal with fabric. And I went with sewing. Again, you could have, you know, you could go with glue. That's what I usually do. Today I decided to sew. And now all we have to do is glue the top and the bottom. Top and back, I should say. I just put some glue here. And now getting ready to glue. So I want to make sure it's even pretty much everywhere. Yes, that is pretty. I love it. I'm going to put some pressure for a few seconds. Okay, so that is lovely. I just really, these are the rub-ons again from Paperlogy. And if you want 15% off, you just go and write my code. It's always in the description box. I think the code is the Purring Cat Studio, but I'm not 100% certain of how it's written. If I remember in editing, I will write it on the top of the screen somewhere here or there. If not, it's always in the description box. Now let's glue the back. Look at this. It's lovely. It fits, you know, the fabric I chose, the color, and the miso string. I just love it. So now the final touch. So I did glue this. I think it's absolutely lovely. It's a simple journal, but it is perfect for someone who wants to do exactly like I'm doing. I call it a writing journal, but as you might have noticed, in my journal, there is very little, actually there's no writing. All I decided to do was to do these little 5-minute mental health self-care pages. So this represents how I felt on different days. You know, sometimes I'm more creative than other times, and sometimes I don't know, it's just when I feel a little low and I don't have any inspiration to undertake a big projects, because I feel I'm overwhelmed very easily, because I'm tired, mentally exhausted. Then I do these little pages, and it makes me feel good about myself when I'm done, because I created something pretty, and it's just for myself. This is not a journal I'm selling. It's a journal I'm filling, you know, for myself. It's just, it really feels good. I really encourage you to do something like that. But if you choose to write in yours, then yes, absolutely. But as you can see, this journal can be exactly like this one, whether you decide to write, create, or both in it. Now I just want to figure out what kind of ribbon I want to go around. This is a little too long. Okay, so I have this, which is also very nice. I really like it. I found this one. Oh, that's very pretty as well. I like it. Okay, that's a maybe. I have this one. Oh, also pretty, but no, it's too. This I should sew at the bottom of a journal somewhere or something, or or maybe in my next journal. Look, that would be very nice. Okay, so no, not for now. I have this one. I like, but I don't feel it matches the miso string and the delicate nature. And I have this one I found. This is lovely, very thin. But you know what? Oh, look how I find that it matches with the corners. You know, at first I wasn't sure, because this is not gold, it's more silver. Oh, I love it. Let me see if I can go around twice. Oh, it's so delicate. Oh my goodness. Oh yes. Okay, that's it. That is the winner. Oh, it's so lovely. Okay, I gotta find some more of this. Oh, perfect. Look at this. It's absolutely adorable. So what I'm going to do is, of course, this will also be probably in my Etsy shop. But I think, fairly certain that I will do maybe a pocket or two inside, or include an envelope in it, something with goodies for you to decorate this journal. So I hope you have learned something. I hope I've inspired you. I also hope that you saw how pretty easy it is. Yes, I know I changed my mind. Do I glue the cover? Do I sew the signature in before I cover it, etc., etc. But these are all questions that you actually need to ask yourself, simply because you'll regret it after that. It's, if something is glued or sewn, it's very hard to undo everything and start. And sometimes it gets discouraging when we make big mistakes like that. I know, I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. um, but, so I'm hoping that by watching me, you'll realize, you know what? It's true. I have to think about that first. And first I'm going to think, do I want to sew? Do I want to glue? Do I want my, my signature to be a pamphlet stitch? Am I, putting it through the machine? It really depends what you have at home and what your abilities are. But I hope I've given you a few options and a few ideas, and I've inspired you to make your own. On this, I say, as always, thank you for watching. I give you a great big hug from here in Nova Scotia, Canada. I hope you are all happy, healthy, and safe. And I say thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye. Bye-bye.